Oh, but chat won't even give me a count, will it? Are you
Oh,
able to
I can
see that?
open it.
Okay.
Well, YouTube and get it. Tony the technician is live.
Whoever the heck that is. Yeah, as long as I don't
Okay.
click on that dock, then the cameras go away. But as soon as I
Mm,
click on it, like they just pop up right where you're supposed to be able to click.
yeah, that's annoying. I haven't looked up on how to get rid of it yet.
Yeah.
Man.
So tell me about your day. You
Mm-mm.
probably don't want to talk about it. Oh, my buddy, he's a mechanic at one of the dealerships I take care of, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he sends me a message earlier today, just out of the blue, and it just has a date and time, and says, "RIP, TOD," or time of death, and then the date and time. I'm like, "How's it going, Chris?" "Thank you."
What's up, Chris?
It's just got time of death and then just the time and date, and I'm like, was it Tony the Turtle? Because they found a turtle, just a little box turtle, walking through their shop like a month ago, and they
Yep.
put it in a crate and got a little thing for it filled with water and some leaves and stuff, and they keep it in there, and they named it Tony the Turtle. And so I was like, did he die? And then he sends me a video of my Capri, because I gave him a set to use, so it would get
Yeah.
everyday use, and he uses these things and abuses them every single day. They're the long double box end ratcheting wrenches.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesday, when I was there working, he tells me, he's like, 17's starting to do that thing where you've over torqued with the wrench, and it starts to do it. It's hard to explain, but like you pull on it, it almost like clicks, and then it'll grab.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sent me a video of him going to tighten a brake caliper mount, and it's just sitting there and ratcheting in both directions. I was like, cool, 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 cool. I was like, well, that's why I gave them to you. So let's go ahead and start the warranty process. That'll make for a good video as well. So not just using
Right.
and abusing the tools, but also how the warranty process will go. So I just reached out to them today. So I might hear from them tomorrow, or it might be Monday. I don't know. But I thought that was pretty
Hmm.
funny because I was gonna bring him another set of wrenches to use, and I completely forgot. And that's when he told me about that wrench, and then 4 days later, it finally completely failed.
So how long was he? He was using it for how long total?
He's had them for about 5 months now,
Oh, is that pretty
and
typical of?
yeah, because especially the long double box ends when you use them in a professional environment, like you can apply a lot more torque to these, and it's not like the
Yeah.
ratcheting mechanism is any different from your standard length ratchets. So like they typically get broken more often than your standard ratcheting wrench, just because you can apply so much torque to them.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's a 17, and it's, I don't know, probably 18 to 20 inches long.
Mm.
That's a good question. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Actually, when I was really working on the Camaro, like, it could be hectic. But I also, the car's, I want to say, basically done now, but it's really not. Now I'm starting a whole new plan for it. But back when I was, like, working on it all the time, I would work on it for, like, 3 weeks straight, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to stop for a little bit. Which I kind of like, because like that's the difference when people like get into the automotive field. Like they think, oh, I love cars, like I'm gonna get into the automotive field. then you get into the automotive field and it like ruins it for you because like I want to work on it to enjoy it, not work on it and hate every day. And
Yeah.
but it was different at the time when I was working on this. I started it when I was going to college, and then when I was on the race team as a mechanic, and that was I was gone, 200 days out of the year. So anytime I came home, I was spending time with family, and then I'd take like a day or two to work on it. And then making videos, when I was on the race team, I would stockpile videos. I would sit there and record videos anytime I got the chance because I was on the road all the time. And then now it's just like I have to sit down and like make sure I have videos made. But now that I run my own business, I have a little bit more time on my hands to do what I need to do. So it works out pretty well for me now. Now I'm not fighting another job working for somebody else. So
Yeah, you didn't even really get to start like gaming with us
yeah,
until you left the team.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, well, obviously, me and you used to play games as kids, and then I joined the army, and I think I played some Halo and Call of Duty when I was in Korea, and then I don't really think I played it all at Stewart. I think I played some other game that wasn't very popular, but I didn't really game for years, and then when I was in Arizona, I started playing Halo just with my buddy that would come over. And that was just on the 360. I still have my 360, which I've been using as a DVD player for 15 years. But
Nice.
the rubber bands are going out on it, so I have to use a pick to pull the tray open as I hit
Oh,
the
bro,
eject button.
that's easy. Bring it home with you this Christmas. I can change those
Okay.
for you.
And yeah, I really probably stopped gaming for 10, 15 years. Like,
I stopped for a long time too. I
yeah,
didn't really pick it back up until I decided to build my computer.
yeah. So now, like, I work during the day, then I come home, take care of the stuff I need to at home, and then once my son goes to bed, I spend an hour to an hour and a half working on YouTube stuff, and then I play video games with you for about an hour, and then I relax and go to bed.
Yeah, I try to find stuff to stay busy at some point during the day when I'm not delivering mail, but
Yeah.
hasn't been going too hot lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what'd you do today? What'd you fill your time with today?
The same thing I filled my time with the last time we did one of these.
It's like the story's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing, except it's just less worser.
Yeah. It's a little bit better, but it's not good.
Like a part of me wants to try one more time because uh, I cinched down the two rear long ones, like the one I'd snapped that first time.
Yeah. What was the
I
reason for
cinched
the
those down a
snapping
little bit.
again?
The sheet I had looked at for the torque specs
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
didn't. It
Specify.
had it. Yeah. See, it was supposed to be 18 foot-pound on the block and the front timing cover, and then
And
the
then
rear timing
8.
cover, which is the two long ones, is 106 inch-pounds, which comes out to like 8.8 foot-pounds.
Yeah.
And I had read it 18 foot-pounds for all of them. So I was
Right.
back there, and I knew better, dude. I was torquing on it. I'm like, this is too much, but it didn't click yet. So
Yeah.
I went until it clicked,
Something
and
went
that was a
click.
broken
It just
fucking bolt.
wasn't the torque wrench.
So
Because
thankfully, I was
they
able
were
to
quite a
source one
bit.
of
They were
those.
a smaller diameter, weren't they, than the other? Yeah.
Yeah, the shank
And
isn't
long.
wasn't quite as thick. Yeah. So I got one of those. Thankfully for Matt, because he had that 4.8 laying around in his yard.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I went back in there the other day, cleaned everything up, got a good. Because the first time I didn't have enough RTV on that back right corner. Uh, there's no way there wasn't enough on there this time. It might have been now that I'm questioning it, maybe too much, or the fact that the pan wasn't held stable on there while I was trying to get the bolt started. I need to reapproach that somehow if I decide to do it. I'm so disgusted with it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm probably more disgusted with myself than anything, but so yeah, I got it on there, and the thing that's really hindering me right now is I'm not like I need to get some dye.
For what?
Because if it's if it's
to really see like where it's coming from.
Yeah, and if it's the rear cover, like I'm almost certain it's the pan because after I cinched down those 2 rear bolts, it slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
But if that rear cover or like the rear main is leaking significantly too, because the inside of the bell housing has a little bit of nastiness in there. I mean, it's not pooled up or nothing, but that's transmission out, and I'm not trying to do that right now.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't want to put it all back together because I know it's going to piss me off and then I'm going to end up tearing it apart again. But I'm so disgusted with it. It's like I don't even want to look at it. I'll probably just let it sit for a few days.
Yeah.
Or I'll put it back together and I'll sell it and I'll go buy an Eclipse.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's funny because in the back of my head, I'm just like, I hope the worst thing happens to that truck. Like, you do the oil pan again, it just breaks in half randomly.
Just breaks in half? Yeah, just
oh, shucks.
Well, you're never going to believe this. The entire block just split in two, got hit in the teeth by a piston. I'd never work on a vehicle again if that happened, dude. Ever.
You might not want to get
I'm beginning to feel like I have no business working on vehicles right now. I'm like, I went to go clean something up earlier, and Heather's like, I got it. I was like, no, I got it. I said, at least this I can fix.
I dropped it and broke. She's screaming about over there? Tell her, hush down. Did you hear me?
Hold on, she just walked in the room. He said, what's she talking about over there? Tell her to hush up. Nah, I can close this.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody wants to see you get the old 1-2 Will Smith. Don't do that. Don't ignore me either. You're ignoring me.
Ignoring you. I'm just talking to your sister first. Love you.
That warms my insides.
It's gross.
What's gross?
I was kissing your sister and you said that warmed your insides.
That is weird. That's not what I was talking about.
So yeah, I don't know. What would you do if you were faced with this situation?
I'd get a GSX.
That's what I want. The thing is if I go, like, okay, the Escape is like,
I keep forgetting you even have
not
that thing.
Gonna be big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Especially
and if I only had the truck
bigger.
and then went and got a GSX, it's like, well, 2 of you are gonna get in here. I'll come back for the other 2. Like,
both
bro, I want to sell that, dude. That's the only thing stopping me. I'd sell that truck in a fucking heartbeat to go get a GSX.
Oh, do the kids even fit in?
If I had something.
I guess it's pretty rich.
Yeah, they fit in there pretty good.
I mean, you just put them in the bed.
No, I mean they don't fit in the. They fit in the back seat just as well, if not a little better than they did the Equinox.
Oh yeah. Man, might as well just get one of them big old Astro vans or something.
Not a chance, dude. You know, I'd get a white one and paint like free candy on the side.
I was literally just gonna say that. Free ice cream,
free ice cream, free car parts, free Red Bull.
I think you'd have more grown men chasing you than kids.
Oh, for sure, yeah, that'd be weird. Start kidnapping grown men in this town. Like, if pandemic started in that town, man, all those grown men disappeared.
Yeah. Nobody knows where that van went, though. In the whole 12-block radius.
Why is it here? See a white van cruising down the road that says free car parts and Red
Red
Bull.
Bull. Oh. Yeah, I was looking at GSXs earlier after you said that, and like, I kept coming. There were a ton of spiders for sale, and like the newer
Yeah,
the newer body style over the generation you had,
yeah,
which I can't stand that. Like, what was that?
no.
Too Fast, Too Furious, where they had that purple one, or which one was that?
Yeah, but that is the motor that so the motor that I was going to originally build
Mm-hmm.
before all the bullshit happened there.
Yeah.
That's a 4G64 engine,
In the newer one.
and in that Eclipse, that's in Too Fast Too Furious,
Yeah.
and that's what guys were throwing in that 4G63 block to make it a 2.3 liter
Oh, okay.
stroker.
Yeah. So
Uh,
that's the only good part
just
about that car, I guess, because I can't stand that new, or at the time that newer. Now I don't even want to
yeah,
talk about the Eclipse. It's a shit. Well, basically after the
I
generation.
know.
What generation was yours? Second gen? Was there one generation
Yes.
before that? And then the third
Yep.
gen is
That was
basically when
when
it
they
got
had
ugly,
the
and now you just have the Eclipse Cross, which I don't even know why it's called an Eclipse. Like, I saw one like a
um
week ago when I was at work, and I was like, it's a really dumb name for a really dumb looking car.
to be honest with you, if I could get like when I had my Eclipse, I was gonna do the Eagle Talon front bumper and headlight swap because I always liked that bumper better than the
Oh, on the
Eclipse.
Talon?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the
Uh,
Eclipse rear end better than I like the Talon. I think the Talon, the whole stock spoiler thing was ugly, like built up
I
against
don't
the
even remember
back
what it looks
window.
like. Oh yeah.
Not
No,
I know
are
not
you
all of
thinking
them are
this?
like that, but
Are you think? I think you're
no,
thinking
not the
of the
Sunfire.
Dodge Stealth. No, you're thinking of
No.
the yeah. There was the Mitsubishi 3000 GT and the
Mhm.
Dodge Stealth. Are you sure the Talon had the?
Yeah, I was just looking at them earlier when I was looking at Eclipses. I was like, well, shoot, I might as well look at Talons too. And I came across one. And it was actually pretty good shape, but it had this
Oh,
stupid wing on it.
yeah. I
Because
see
I
what
know
you mean
some of
now.
them have the nice ones, and then some of them have that stupid little one that comes off like the back window or something.
Oh, well, you remember I traded that whole custom fiberglass sound system and the hatch of that thing for a wing for my Eclipse,
Yeah.
the factory wing
Yep.
that dude had.
Yeah, because we painted it along with your wheels. That stuff actually came out really, really nice.
Dude, oh my god, I miss those wheels, dude.
We
Those
spent so long
Motigis,
on
and
those
then
things.
oh, I know
Was that when I was home on leave,
they
or
came
was it
out
right
really nice.
before I left?
It was right before you left.
Because I think it was the same time that I drove the Cavalier over there. The brakes blew out, and I got rid of it. And then I just stayed at your house for like
Yeah, that sounds
3 days or something like
a
that.
couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Chris, I have not
yeah.
done
No,
that
that
yet, which is like the one thing it's the K member and the frame stiffeners are the two things that I haven't done on the car yet, but those are both being done when I do the next engine swap. So yeah, I was looking at Eclipses earlier, and I kept coming across what is it, the GTS spiders. Like, there's tons of those, and then
GST.
every time I would find like another one, and they were all automatic. I found a couple that were like rollers, that were manuals. Uh, I had only seen like 3 GSXs. One was like 15,000, but it was super clean. The other one was 9,000. I saw a few of them, but a lot of them were just junk. There were
I
actually more on
mean,
there than I was expecting, but then I kept coming across that
wow,
newer generation.
dude. Do you know how much these motors are going for on eBay?
$100.
Yeah, I wish. Holy shit, bro.
3,000.
Up.
Good lord. 5,000.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. That's
They're
half
good
of what I'm
motors,
paying for
dude.
mine.
Here's one out of a '03 Evolution for 6,500. I don't know. I see this shit. It makes me feel like I'll never own one again.
Yeah, you will. When that oil pan splits in half.
You get out of that fucking truck when it does that.
I was I felt like an idiot when I was going to work on that Honda S2000. Did I ever send you that video of how to start it?
Yeah.
You should have seen me. I got in
I was
that
trying to figure
thing.
out how to get it started.
Yeah, I got in it, and I'm like, I put the key in the ignition. And I like keep trying to turn it, but it just like locks. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this thing? I'm like, clutch is in, it's not in gear. I'm like, none of this should stop me from turning the key, but I'm just like, it's got a 0, 1, and 2, and then it just stops. I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, okay, it's got to be somewhere else. So then I'm like looking around everywhere, and I'm like, well, it was on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. I was like, who came up with this? I mean, I love that car, but I was just like, who came up with this?
That had to be like a early iteration of push buttons too, like when they
Yeah,
first started. I mean,
where you
like before
still
they
needed the
became
key
even,
and
yeah, like like a mainstream thing on every damn
right. Because
vehicle.
what was that? I think it was an '01. I can't remember. Or what?
I don't think they ran those very long. They only ran them for,
And she said she's had it for 12 years.
damn, they ran longer than I thought they did. They were in production from 99 to '09.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was a '01 or '02. And, oh, shoot. I didn't have a push button start until my last vehicle.
Never have,
What's that?
unless you consider jump. I said I never have unless you consider jumping a starter solenoid with a screwdriver.
That's a weird looking button. Consider that more a
And
toggle.
it's, hey, people don't know how to steal something that needs to be started that way.
Was a
Yeah, okay, any new generation, I'll put it this way.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. This dealership I service, their detail guy has a Kia Forte, and he's looking at getting a new Kia. And we all looked at him like, why? He's had his car stolen 3 times in the last year. And he keeps having to pay for
Weren't
the
Chargers
ignition and the
getting
window to
stolen?
be replaced. What's that?
I think Chargers were like the second most
Yeah.
stolen vehicle.
Kias
They were
and
like really
Chargers,
easy
yeah.
to pop too.
His key, they literally just rip the ignition out.
Put a USB in it.
You know, like, I was just like,
There were-
why? He's like, I
Haven't you seen
keep
those?
paying to replace it. And I was like, you're replacing it just for it to get stolen again. I was like, you should probably just like invest in at least like
haven't you
a
seen
wheel
those-
lock.
Yeah, something. There's been those like news or whatever. I can't even think of the word. I've been seeing it on the news. They call them like the Kia Boys,
Oh yeah,
and it's just a fucking group of fucking guys that run around and steal Kias, dude.
yeah.
That's all they do is just run around and steal
I'm like,
steal
these
cars,
guys
and
work
all they're
real
doing
hard.
is
Why
they're
don't you
taking
just go get a job?
right, get a USB jack and go fucking gank someone's vehicle.
He was saying, can't remember what he said. I know he had finally decided that he wasn't gonna go with the factory glass again, so he ended up going with a place that just buys used glass from cars that go to like junkyards and stuff. So he ended up getting the window for like $100, which isn't bad at all compared to probably the 300 he was paying before.
Yeah, but it's still dumb if you're going to be doing it 7
Yeah.
times.
But it was funny because he said, he's like, yeah, they stole it. It had an empty tank of gas. Because his head unit connects to his Google Maps. So, like, when the car's on, he can see where the car is. And he's like, yeah, I woke up the next morning, I walk out, my car's gone. Pull it up on my phone, my car was 2.8 miles away out of gas. Not even 3 miles
Where does
away.
he live?
So he's like, I just walked over there and got my car.
Where does he live at? Like in approximation to you? Like is he?
He's on the east side,
Like,
which, or yeah, the southeast side. Obviously not a very good area, I guess.
Well, no, it's, I mean, it's
It's
just
not
like it
like that
sounds like
around
people are
here.
just out stealing cars left and right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then,
I dare someone to try to steal the Escape.
yeah, take it, turn it in for insurance.
They'll get sent to fucking Leavenworth, dude. That's a felony. Steal that piece of shit and go
Yeah,
to prison
you
for a
think it's
felony
just a
because.
hunk of junk, and then you find out it's a government vehicle.
Yeah, dude.
Just there
I'd
was
laugh
one
my
piece
ass
of
off.
mail left in there.
Yeah, I'd laugh my ass off.
You get
I
in
hope
less
that day
trouble for
comes.
stealing the vehicle, more trouble for stealing a piece of mail that got stuck behind the seat.
Yeah. No, I make sure there ain't no mail stuck in my car. I ain't trying to. Nope. All my mail sits right up front with me.
Oh yeah, and then Redbeard messaged me today, said he's gonna come over this week because he's got to rewrap the driver's side fender because it's bubbling around this wheel well where it bends right here, that crease right here. It it
Yeah.
bubbled on the other side, basically the entire moon shape. So he's coming over to rewrap that and then do the decals on the hood. I was like, oh, thank goodness, because it's been a minute. So I had to, man, I was going to send you a picture earlier just from my OneDrive because I wipe this thing down every time it comes back in the garage. And like I didn't last time when I took it out to see if the fuel pump or the wiring was good. Drove it for an hour and a half. It worked fine, so that's good. But like, it just had the thickest with my exhaust in the middle of the car and pointing straight to the ground. It is the worst because it blows stuff everywhere. Like it is
Oh, yeah, I
ridiculous.
bet. So that wrap you put on your lines is working then?
Yeah, I mean,
Is
the
that
fuel pump started to get a little bit louder. It wasn't nearly as loud as the first time, but I'm at the point as long as the fuel pump is running, I'm just gonna run it. I'll cut the trap door and do all new fuel lines and pump. When this fuel pump takes a dump, that's when I'll start doing the next swap. That's when because I should have the new fuel pump and everything because I already got all the lines. I just need to order my dash 10 oil cooler lines, the fuel pump itself, and then basically the K member, uh, engine and trans. And then I already have everything else stockpiled on a shelf. And the only downside is the engine and trans is pretty spendy. But
Yeah. So I told
I
your
don't have
sister, so I'm not
about.
touching the damn.
What's that?
I was telling your sister, I said I'm not touching that rear main or the rear timing cover seal because
Yeah.
the transmission has to come out. And I said that
Oh, yeah.
transmission is not getting pulled unless a new one is going back into it.
Yeah, so, like, I'm just gonna.
Not fucking happening.
The wiring's working again. The fuel pump's running. Like, it runs strong. Uh, it's just after an hour and a half, it starts to whine a little bit louder. And I'm just like, well, I've wrapped the fuel line. There's really nothing else I can do about it. The wire's upgraded. The only thing else
Hmm.
the only thing else I can do is replace it all when I do the engine swap. Hey, how's it going, Marshall? Thank you for joining us. So I'm just gonna keep driving it. I just didn't drive it quite as far out this last time, just because I wanted to make sure that the fuel pump wasn't gonna shut off on me
Paranoid.
again. Yeah. But then I drove for like 45 minutes, and
Yeah.
then I found myself getting further and further away from the house. And then because I was just driving out in the country, just finding back roads. And eventually I found myself where I had no idea where I was at. I was like, well, if it shuts off now, I was like, I can't tell anybody where I'm at. You're just going to have to find me on like Google Maps.
Drop a
Oh, no
pin.
problem. Yeah. So,
You remember Cliff Dennis here in town?
Yes. How old is he now?
So, oh God, I don't know, dude. He doesn't look any different, like at all. But he rang my doorbell, and the only reason I answered is because I thought it was the back end of my landlord's pickup.
Mm,
So I went to go answer, and it was him. He's like, "You still working on stuff?"
not for you.
I said, "Yeah, I guess." And he had a one of those like big weed whacker things that have the two wheels on. I've always heard them called mow balls, but it's like got a big weed whacker head on the front of it, and it's got two wheels on the side, and you push it around like a mower almost. But it's
Okay.
just like a weed whacker on steroids.
Okay.
But anyway, so it'll start and run for a minute, and then it dies. And he's like, "Can you get this running?" And I said, "Was it sitting?" He said, "Yeah, over winter." And I said, "Did it have fuel in it?" He goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Carburetor's probably plugged." So I said, "Yeah, that
Yeah.
shouldn't take much to get working." So I'll clean the
Perfect.
carb on or whatever. Well, then I take the thing back to my garage, and I go through my side door, and I look outside, and he's still sitting there, except his hood's popped, and he's leaning over it. And I'm like, shit.
Starts, but it won't stay running. Same winter.
So he's sitting there cleaning his battery terminal because he goes to try to start it, and it's just going click, click, click. And I'm like, I don't think that's a battery issue. I said, that sounds like your starter's not
Yeah,
engaged. And
you
he's like,
give
it's
that
just
thing a
not
little
the bending being thrown or whatever.
yeah.
And so he's sitting there and he's cleaning it, and then he gets a paper towel out and he like spits on it and starts like wiping his terminal off. And then he pulls a pocket knife out and he's like holding the battery terminal, and he's sitting here doing this, and then he like just stabs the knife right into his fucking thumb. I'm
Did
like,
it
"Yep, be
start?
careful." And so I got to looking. First of all, I don't know how the front of this truck is even being held together right now because the frame looks like it's been sitting at the bottom of the ocean. But I was like, "Where the hell's the starter at?" And I'm looking, and I couldn't really see it, so I go over top and I'm looking at it, and I said, "You got anything in there I can bang on this starter with?" Because for the year of Ford he has, it's
Yeah.
common for those. Like we had a work truck when I roofed
Yeah.
that you couldn't go anywhere unless you went and like whacked on the starter with a hammer.
Yeah.
And so he hands me like I don't know what the hell it was, like an axe handle or some shit. I don't know what the hell it was. And I'm like tapping on it, and it's like a hollow tube, and I'm like, this isn't gonna do anything. So I'm sitting there just whacking on it a little bit. I was like, go try starting it, and the damn thing just started right up and purred like a kitten. I said, your starter's going bad. Is that what that is? I said, yeah.
Yeah, not your battery terminal. You spit shine that
So
thing two times a day.
while he was here, I got his phone number from him so I could call him about
Mm-hmm.
the weed eater thing, and I just called him, and he couldn't get the number saved in his phone. So after all this happens, he goes home, and like a half hour later, I get a phone call from him. Yeah, I just had this number on my phone. I seen you called. I said, yeah, Cliff, it's Sean. he goes, oh, okay. He goes, well, you know what I think I'm gonna do with that starter? He goes, I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit. Then I'm gonna hit it with a power washer and see if cleaning it up won't help it. I'm like,
Yeah, that's how that works.
sure,
Thing's just dirty.
go for it.
She just needs a bath.
I was just like,
That'll make it work
I wasn't
again.
even gonna get into it with
Yeah.
that's not how that's gonna work. So I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that could work. So if anything, the area will be clean when he eventually comes over and asks me to change the
Yeah, and you
starter
gotta
out.
change it. At least it won't be greasy.
I just
That's
heard that and I was
funny.
like, I don't have the patience to even deal with
Yeah.
this conversation right
I'm
now.
not
So yeah, go
surprised
ahead,
your
power wash your
lawnmower weed
starter.
eater isn't working. Probably
Well, I
opened the
told him, I said
carburetor and pressure washed it.
I said the fuel has ethanol in it, dude, and I said it gums up. He's like, well, I try to put regular. I said, I don't care what you put in it. I said it's gonna
Yeah.
gum up after
Yeah, it doesn't
sitting all
matter.
winter.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what do you do? I said, well, burn all the fuel out of it or put stable in it.
Yeah, those are your only two options. And I even thought I had mine drained this last winter. No, there was still some sitting in the bowl, and it ended up gunking up. I was like, son of a gun. So I'm just going to buy some
Dude,
stable this next year. I'm still going to try and run it out, but
The wild
100%.
thing is that little $20 Husqvarna I got that didn't run, and then I cleaned it.
Yeah.
Uh, that thing sat all winter with a tank full of fuel, and when I pulled it out after moving to mow this yard, it started off on the first pull.
That's funny.
I
I don't
I
think
was
you
like,
could
"What
get
the
my
hell?"
dad to get another Husqvarna. He bought that rider, and I think it was the biggest hunk of junk.
No, this like granted, I only paid $20 for this push
Yeah.
mower, but I was just like, "Damn, okay, start up."
Yeah, that Brute that I had was great for, I don't know, 4 years or so. And then after that, I paid $100. I think he was a lawyer or a doctor or something. He had bought it because he had moved into this new house, and he mowed the yard once and then realized he's not going to push mow his new yard. And so he went out and bought a rider, and then he sold this mower for $100. So I went and picked it up, and worked great for 4 years. And then after that, every time I mowed, I had to clean this carburetor, and it was a plastic carb, and tearing it apart just got real old. I was like, all right,
Oh,
I'm just going to get a new lawnmower. So I
damn,
was
that's
over
weird.
it.
Did it?
Yeah. I was like, it's not even like it was every winter. It was every single time I went to mow. I was like, this is
Yeah, that's
stupid.
ridiculous. Yeah, I
That and
wouldn't do
like
that either.
I think eventually after taking the carb on and off so many times, the little throttle rods and everything that connects to it, because it's got like the blades and stuff on top, and then
Yeah, the
like
linkages and stuff.
the
Yeah.
linkage for like adjusting for choke, and like I think I was bending those to try and get the carb off, and I think after 25 times of
Hey,
taking it on and off, they were probably not straight anymore. One sec.
so what's going on, chat? How's everybody's evening going?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, good call. Would have never known. I got to be something other than pissed off, dude. I'm just like dwelling on it. It's pissing me off. I know you do the same shit.
Yeah, like that's why last time we did this video last week, like right after I drove the Camaro, like if I wouldn't have been able to unplug that wiring harness and plug into the factory wiring and it just fire right up, if it wouldn't have fired right up, we probably wouldn't have done that. But even though that video turned out to be a nightmare anyways,
All
I would
right.
have been like, it was just like when my dad came and we went to fire it up and we couldn't fire it up, and I knew I was not going to sleep that night without knowing. And they're all in there eating dinner. Literally just took the plate and just dumped it in my mouth. And I went back out to the
I do the
garage and
same
I was like,
shit, dude.
what is going on? I'm just like digging through parts that I got thrown all over the floor. And I come across a 2-inch rubber hose. I was like, that'll do it. Now I can go to sleep. I was like, we'll put it back together tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
but
it's like
if I know the
you're
issue
so
and how to fix it, it's okay. But like,
you're good. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I get like that too. Like I'm so pissed that I don't want to look at the damn thing,
yeah,
but I've got to know. Like, yeah,
why?
like you said, until I know what needs to be done to fix the problem, I am
Yeah.
gonna dwell on that shit so
Yeah,
hard.
because I know I wouldn't have slept that night. I would have laid there like I would have probably just came downstairs at midnight or 1 o'clock and been like digging around for something. So
Yeah,
if
I
you
ended up
were
getting
to get,
tomorrow off. It makes me want to.
oh, were you supposed to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I work every Saturday.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I was supposed to be off today, but my boss made me work.
All right, what a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, he
All right,
watches
what
my
now?
videos too. uh, so if you were to get a GSX, what would you do to it? Like, would you keep this? Try
It
and
would
do the same thing that you had before, or would
it would just yeah, it would be the build that I had planned to begin with. Even though there's probably,
I guarantee you
I
there's a
mean,
lot more
I
stuff that you can do
dude.
now.
Well, that's what yeah. See, and I don't even know. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
because you've been
so
out of it.
what's the best way for me to describe it? Yeah, like I'm stuck in '08, dude. So
Yeah,
everything I know about what existed for that car is from 2008.
yeah,
But I don't think I don't know. Like obviously there's probably some better parts compared to what I was going to use then,
yeah,
but I
and
think
a lot more custom
overall,
parts. I guarantee.
yeah, I think overall it would just be the same build I was going to do because I'm kind of stuck in that like I never got to finish it.
Yeah, it's like my 300ZX. I
So it's
always
just
think back on it because I had big plans, but then I was like, I need something reliable. But like, I think back and I'm just
yeah,
like, if I had a 300ZX, what would I do? And just now, I watch my buddy that I was in the army with, and now he's got, he holds the world record for the fastest 300ZX. I'm like, man, we bought cars together. I got rid of
right,
mine. He's over here holding records, but it's pretty awesome
right.
watching it. He's got a really fast car, but
Oh, I
he's been
bet.
in
Well,
racing
yeah,
his
if it's
entire
holding
life.
record.
He used to race dirt track legends and stuff. When he was a kid, he has a bunch of
Oh,
trophies and
right on.
stuff, and that's what his dad did. He built them basically. Uh, would you go back to a red GSX, or would you just be happy with whatever?
Mm, so I'm gonna give you two answers on that one. If money wasn't a problem, so first off, I would probably try to. I think the chances of finding one in the kind of shape I would at least want it
And the color that you
in the
wanted in
color,
is
it would be pretty
pretty
damn
slim.
hard. So I think if money wasn't an issue, I would buy whatever one I could find, like in the condition I wanted it in, because I want
Yeah.
to be able to do my own thing to it. But then after all was said and done, what's up,
Hey,
19?
how's it going?
After all was said and done, I would probably paint it like a deep purple, like almost
Oh
verging on
yeah,
the
yeah,
color of black.
yeah.
And then
I
I would
always love that.
probably, I don't know what I would go for with a wheel on that. Maybe like a style like I had before, like a Motegi, but maybe like a bronze color
What
wheel.
size were? Yeah. Oh yeah,
Those were
especially with the
18s.
black with the, like if you do like a black with a purple sparkle, I don't know, flake in it,
Yeah,
like it just like looks black, but then like you get like a street light or like light on it, and you can see that purple in there. I
yeah.
always love that color.
Um, Real world, if I am ever able to get one again, I'm gonna be happy with whatever I can get, and I'm gonna do what I can to
Yeah, the outside is
drive
really
it
probably
and
the last
enjoy it.
thing. Yeah, that was just
I
like
mean, I don't want
this.
to buy a clapped out turd, but
Right. I was seeing like it looks like the front of the rear wheel well looks to be like the common area on those to rust. Because like I'd say at least 5 of them that I looked at, all these people took the same picture in front of the wheel, and like some of them were rusted, and I think some people were showing, hey, it does have that rust, and then some of them were showing like it still looks brand new. I was like, interesting. That must be like a common spot for them to start rusting.
it must be, dude. Like I said, I have no like the one I had was so
Yeah.
cherry that there
Yeah.
was no rust on that car.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
But
immaculate.
I mean, that was
Ugh, man,
2008, and that
good
was
stuff,
what, a
man.
98?
Yeah, so it was only, yeah, it
10 years
wasn't that
old.
old.
Now it's 30
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah.
No,
That's
20,
like
25 basically.
like what I'm saying though, like all those times I messaged you and I was like, bro, I had a dream and it like upset
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in '08, like
Yeah.
big time with that car.
Yeah. And it's just like when I bought my 300ZX, it was $3,000. Now I look for one that's, remotely around the same quality. Like the one I sent you is a little bit nicer than what I had. But like that one was
Mm-hmm.
15,000, and like the one that I bought for $3,000 is probably selling for close to 10,000 now. I'm just like, that's just ridiculous. I was like, and now it's
But I'm
just
like,
like,
well,
it's hard for me to be like, I really want one, but I'm not paying that price. But like, all of them are that price unless it's just one that's been buried in the grass somewhere.
do you know what I paid for mine in '08?
What's that?
My Eclipse?
How much you pay?
Yeah, did you know how much I paid for it?
No,
No, because
no.
it makes me wonder what it would be worth today in the shape it was in. I paid $9,000 for that car.
Yeah. Today, from what I was seeing, there was one that I saw that was really nice. It had a cage in it, but it was selling for, I want to say 20. So I'm sure yours would probably be around, I don't know, 17, 16.
Yeah,
And to certain ones,
that was the most
probably more.
expensive car I've ever bought.
Well, especially, I don't even
Right,
know if the
that
one
was
I
the
was
most.
looking at was the GS. That might have been a GSX that I was looking at because it was like it was almost like a green copper. It's hard to explain, but it was really nice. But I also think it was a convertible too.
That's a
I can't
GST.
remember.
They didn't make GSXs in
Yeah,
convertible.
I might have to look it up now. It should still be on there.
There was always times I'd see a GST and I was like, man, I wonder if I'd be happy with that. And I was like, there's no way I can.
Right.
I can't just because like back like when I had that
It's
car,
hard to
dude,
go
I'd go ripping
backwards
out
from
in the
what you had.
yeah, dude. And I know what to like. I that the all wheel drive system on that car was like awesome,
Yeah,
like
like
super
this is a
awesome, dude.
'97 GST, and it's going for. They originally had it up for 17, and they're asking 13 for it now. Where's that
And
one?
those always went for more because of the convertible and shit.
I don't care too much for the convertible, but
I don't either. I just want my car back.
right,
Thing's probably in a fucking junkyard somewhere crushed.
right. That's a 3000 GT. I don't know. I hate when it just shows me random other cars.
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
This
19, I always had a
RX-8.
feeling in the back of my head that they were gonna, for the car I had, that they were gonna be high by any kind of time I had to
Right.
possibly buy another one just because of what it was. This was back when Mitsubishi and Chrysler worked together.
Worked together
Well,
before
that
Mitsubishi went to absolute dog crap.
yeah, and that might have even been more so like the Gen 1 because you had the Eagle, the Eclipse, and then you had the Plymouth Laser.
Yeah.
And then after Gen 1 you didn't have that, but I just, every Eclipse you saw it was a 420A NA motor. It wasn't the
Oh,
Ford
yeah, yeah.
G63 motor is the motor that's in the Evo, except cam gears and the intake and everything are on the other side of the motor, or facing the other way, facing the driver's side, and then on the Evo, everything's running towards the passenger side of the car.
Oh, yeah, it was a GST for
Yeah,
15,000. I
yeah.
don't even know if
Anything that's
this
a
will
convertible.
pick it up.
Oh yeah. If it's a convertible turbo Eclipse, it's 100% a GST.
Yeah,
God, them cars, dude. That's just I don't know. The body on them cars is just.
yeah. Like it's super clean. The wheels, the color, like it's nice. Interior's really nice. I think
Yeah,
it's
I. Do they really make anything other than these SUVs? The Mitsubishi,
uh
or is the out
the
is the
Mirage
Outlander? Is
maybe.
that's an SUV?
Yeah,
Is the
they're all
Mirage an
basically
SUV? I don't
like
even know, dude.
they're all. I mean, I think they have one or two cars, but they're literally junk.
What's that older Mitsubishi 4x4 that was like super badass that everybody wants? I actually almost bought one because
Uh,
it was right hand drive.
I know I can picture it in my mind. This thing is hideous.
Yeah, there you go, 19. It might be a Montero.
Mm.
Look. No, I don't think that's it. What is this? What is that? It was a sweet looking little. Mitsubishi Pajero?
I don't know. I tell you, I pre-ordered that front splitter for my car.
I
That thing probably gonna hit it on a
feel
curb
like you
and
did.
rip it in half. Was it? It's not made anymore. I'm guessing it stopped in like the early 2000s.
Yeah. God, there was one for sale when I was looking for a mail vehicle.
The Montero definitely looks like something.
Was it? It might have.
Something that at least the
Nah, this
older
was
one. There's a
more, way
newer
more.
one.
It was like a little bit smaller. Are the Pajero and Montero the same? Maybe they are. The Pajero looks.
Not the Endeavor. That thing is. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's the Pajero. That looks like a tracker.
I don't think it was either. Yeah, I don't know if it was. Because this SUV had the same motor in it that the Eclipse did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What is this? This thing's pretty sick looking. Oh, it's got to be this. What is this? Who was it that had Galant? I think that was Elisa. The
Oh,
Mirage,
Mitsubishi Galant.
Montero Sport SUV. Looks like they had a few different variations of it. The Nativa. The 2000 Mitsubishi Nativa four-wheel drive. That one's a little
They
bit
kept
bigger,
making
though.
them until recently. That market, I guess since like '06. Yeah, I was gonna say the U.S. market for Mitsubishi's been
Well,
pretty
because
nil
I
since
remember
the
I used to
fucking.
work at a Fiat one, and it was right around the same time that Mitsubishi and Fiat, and so like a lot of the interiors were changing on the Mitsubishis, and yeah, it kind of sucks seeing
Yeah, I think Pajero.
some of the other ones from other countries, because like even like Mexico and like some of these other countries, just the offerings that they have, even from GM, like some of these other countries get like some pretty sweet vehicles that we don't get here.
No, I know. I suppose it's different
Yeah,
regulations and shit,
yeah,
or just well, and I'm assuming a lot of it is where they're at, what's needed for. Like I know Toyota does that. Like they'll go,
yeah,
okay, what do we need to do for this vehicle for the area?
yeah. Well, it's just like, what is it? The Ford. God, they have a Ford SUV, I believe, but it's like it's pretty, it's pretty sick. But they don't make it for the U.S. I might have to look it up.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
Fine.
It's not that. Is it the Everest? I think it's the Everest. It's like a
Talking about?
because they didn't want to bring it to the U.S. because they were afraid that it was going to beat out the Explorer. And people are like, "Who cares? Like, get rid of the Explorer
Probably would
and
have.
start just selling this." I don't even,
Give people the option to buy something better if there is.
yeah, because like, just its offerings, like its interior and its performance, just way better than what we have. I think it was the Everest. 2 is the Edge L, which is just a big edge. It wasn't the Territory, yeah.
Suzuki's are fire in Mexico. Thought your sister brought me cookies.
What kind of cookies you eating?
But I don't have
over
anything
there?
to drink. Oatmeal
Delica?
raisin and snickerdoodle.
Yeah, like Mexico has some pretty cool ones, and they also have some really weird ones. Like I think I've seen they have the Chevy S10 over there, I believe, but it looks super weird. But some of them they have are pretty cool.
What the hell is a Delica?
I gotta look that one up. Oh, dang. Little Mitsubishi Delica.
Is that a van?
Oh, I
Dude,
guess
that's...
they got a newer one, too. The old ones are pretty sick, though.
Huh.
That reminds me of some Jurassic Park shit.
Like a cab over.
I feel like you could climb some stuff, but you could also just tip over on like a 3-inch rock.
I feel like you'd get a high centered.
It's got a pretty
I don't know, the
good
wheelbase is
clearance on
pretty
it.
short
Like,
on it.
yeah.
Wheels are really...
Yeah, the Cheyennes. Yeah, so this weekend I think I'm gonna.
When I first read...
What's
Go
that?
ahead.
Oh, I was just.
When I
saying
first
some
read Delica, I thought he said Celica.
Oh. They're coming out with that too.
Are they?
Yeah. People were worried. Well, people are really excited, but they're also worried because like they don't want Toyota to put a crappy powertrain in it, because that's kind of what they did with the GR86, keeping the Boxer engine in it. People think the only reason they really did that is so it wouldn't compete with the new Supra, because people have wanted the GR86 to be different than the Subaru version, or the BRZ, but they kept the same powertrain in there because I think they're afraid if they put a turbo engine in that platform for a more affordable price, then it's just people are gonna stop buying the Supra, which people obviously didn't buy the Supra very much because they're gonna stop that. I think they're doing a whole redesign on it too, but they're supposed to be bringing back the Celica, and I think it's supposed to have its own Toyota turbo platform, an all new engine, and it might be. I think the highest trim is supposed to be a hybrid with something close to like 400 horse or something like that. So for a tiny car, it could be a good one, especially if they can keep it under like 40 grand. Because I mean
That's gonna be tough.
I don't even know this. I don't even know what the Super runs. Probably 80, and the GR86 is around 30. So it's probably gonna fall around 40 or 50. Maybe the Supra's not that much. It might be like 65 or 70. I can't remember. But I'm sure it's going to fall right in between those two.
Toyota 2024 Toyota GR Supra's base MSRP was 46,440 for the 2.0 model.
For which vehicle?
The 2.0 for the Toyota GR Supra.
Oh, okay.
2024. The 3.0 premium trim starts at 58,550, and then the 45th anniversary edition has a base MSRP of 65,275.
Okay, yeah, I think a lot of them were
The
selling for about
2025
65 and
model,
up.
yeah, those will start at anywhere from 56,250 to 59,400.
Yeah. And then the GR86 was around 30, depending on what, if you got the base or the premium. There weren't really a whole lot of offerings. The engine stayed the same. They just changed the brakes and some interior trim pieces. So basically, it was all between 30 and 35, or 28 and 35, something like that. So I'm sure the Celica is going to have to fall right in around 35 to 40 or something.
Yeah.
But there's not that many sports cars out there anymore that are manual transmission, and that's what people want.
Yep.
And I mean, you obviously have.
I had scalloped
The
potatoes
Mustang.
and chicken strips.
What did I have? I had a burger joint, so I had a bacon cheeseburger and some garlic parmesan fries and a strawberry banana milkshake. And then we watched, what was that movie?
Oh.
Mufasa. Or we started to watch Mufasa.
I don't think when the last time I actually sat down and watched a movie was.
And we started watching it, then my son had to get in the shower.
We
Tried to watch
started
Wicked
Oppenheimer.
The other night. I couldn't watch it.
We got through a couple hours, or well, I don't even remember how long Oppenheimer was. That was like a 3-hour movie, I think. I think we got through like an hour and a half of it.
Yeah, that family life.
Right? It is long. We got through like an hour and a half of it, and then we put on like Big Bang or something, went to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out. The next night, I think we got through about 45 minutes of it, and we were both passing out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gotta be
And
like
I went to go
3
check,
hours.
and I think we still had like another fucking 35 minutes left. So I was like, we'll just, and then it's been like 2 weeks now. We can't even go.
Is it on Netflix or what? What's it even on?
I think I was
Amazon?
watching it on Prime.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a good movie, dude, just because I'm into like the World War II shit.
Yeah.
So I was into it. It was just like I can't sit through anything without falling asleep anymore.
That was my plan,
I can't do it.
but then I didn't realize how late it was. So I was trying to sneak in a nap while my wife and son were watching the movie. And then, like, right when I was getting comfortable on the couch after we got done eating, my wife's like, all right, time to go shower. I'm like, all right. Like, back up off the couch.
Those are the worst too, because then it's like I really don't want to move. I'm so damn tired.
Well, I messed up 2 nights ago. I took like an hour nap at like 4:30 to 5:30. That was a horrible idea. I laid there at 11.
Was that the 11th?
At night trying to go to sleep. And I laid there at least till 12:30 before I fell asleep. I'm like, I wake up and I get up.
I did that on my
getting ready for
birthday,
work
dude, on the
next
11th.
morning. And my watch is all like, 98, congrats on a great sleep schedule. I'm like, I'm about to throw you at a wall. I was like, you don't know when I'm sleeping. I was like, I did not sleep at 11. I said I fell asleep at 11. I was like, then I look at my consistency and it's like reading my heart rate and then it just like disappears for 2 hours. I'm like, what was I doing? I was like, did I just die for those 2 hours?
Yeah, I took a nap from like 4 to 7:30, and then I ended up falling back asleep at like 11, or no, probably 12:30 that night. But then I was up at 4:30 in the morning, and I was just up.
Yeah, that's a little too early for me. I think that's when my wife gets up.
That's when I made those.
Nope.
That's when I got the those shorts made.
Oh yeah.
For my channel.
Yeah.
Good time to go over footage.
Yeah. I'm sure you got plenty of it to go over.
Yeah. Not so much, some of it.
Well, shoot. I suppose that's probably where we're going to end it tonight. And probably try and do another one next Friday. So If you guys enjoy, make sure to smash that thumbs up. Join us next Friday. We're going to try and do these 9 my time, so 8 central. Yes, it does. Mine is 70 degrees right now, 71. Did my camera just move? What the hell was that?
Just throwing this out there for anybody. If like if you guys are just wanting to like hang out and chat, you could come over and check out my Mythic SR channel. It's where we game in the evenings. If people would be interested in just seeing us in that environment, I would be more than willing to stream it.
I forgot my webcam.
Just throwing it out there.
Me. Sorry.
But yeah.
Yeah, my garage got AC and heat, so it stays, I don't know, in the wintertime it'll get down to mid to low 60s, and then in the summertime, if it's real hot out, it'll get, 78 in here. But as long as I don't pull my car in right after driving it, because this thing will heat the garage a solid 10 to 15 degrees. But yeah, we're going to go probably jump on some Halo if Sean doesn't have to go to sleep.
I have to go to sleep.
Yeah, I know your bedtime is here pretty soon.
I was just waiting to see. I didn't know if there was a way I could like drop a link in this chat if people wanted
for
to
your
migrate.
The heck just disconnected from my computer. I keep forgetting my webcam does that.
Oh, follows?
What's that?
Follows you?
Yeah. I must have held my hand up in the video because it was locked before. There we go. You as well,
Is that
19.
a clickable link? I don't know.
Well, at least they can copy
Yeah, have a good
paste
night,
it
guys.
if need be. So.
Yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, more than
that for
welcome
your
to.
gaming
I would always
channel?
appreciate it. Yep, this is for us
it's-
gaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I'll
get
get the
my butt kicked and.
Oh, you're good, 19. No worries, buddy.
Yeah, I understand that.
Just giving people the option there if they want to go check it out. It's usually where we unwind at the end of the night and game
Yeah.
for a little bit. And
Yeah, I usually
cuss at
keep
people.
my I keep my channel user friendly, but when I'm playing with Sean, it's not user friendly or family friendly. I should say. So,
It's
all right, guys,
impossible.
thanks for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys next Friday.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.